What's up guys, this video builds off my previous theory by providing a few more details on how the Lifestream is corrupted and what Sephiroth's endgame is by containing Cloud and company in a fabricated world. If you haven't watched it yet, I'll put a link in the description so you can get all caught up. And just a heads up, there will be major spoilers for Final Fantasy VII Remake and the original Final Fantasy VII. The developers confirm the remake project will link up with Advent Children. This is great news and it kinda confirms two major things. One, Zack and Aerith will be dead by the end of the remake trilogy, and two, there won't be any major plot changes. I have to say, this kind of ties in with this theory even more. This theory maintains the original story while also adding new elements and new twists. Sephiroth has been deceiving the party from the very beginning of the game. It begins with whispers swarming Aerith. This is Sephiroth's influence that I'll explain later. By the end of the game, we can gather that the Whispers are trying to preserve destiny and essentially protect the planet, but I think there is more to the Whispers than just that. We hear the Whispers cry out in chapter 18, and Aerith says, "What you heard just now were the voices of the planet. Those born into the world, who lived and who died, who returned, they're howling in pain." This isn't far off from the same dialogue we get in the original Final Fantasy VII in Bugenhagen's laboratory when he's talking about the Lifestream. I don't think it's a stretch to say that the Whispers are basically souls and spirit energy of the Lifestream protecting the will of the planet. This also explains why the party gets flashes of memories of the original Final Fantasy VII and Advent Children near the end of the game. Memories are fundamental to what the Lifestream is. This all plays into the corrupted Lifestream theory. I'm going to reference a few quotes from On the Way to a Smile in this video, and for those who are unaware, this book takes place before the events of Advent Children. This one in particular is in reference to Sephiroth, but the highlighted part is the important part. Perhaps he would be able to do something amusing with it, like, for instance, turn the entire Lifestream black. It's curious how all the Whispers are black. It's entirely possible I'm overthinking this, but this to me sounds like Sephiroth has corrupted the Lifestream in his favor. The flow of time, spirit energy, and even memories are all abnormal, and it's all due to Sephiroth's corruption. And remember, the entire plot of Advent Children is basically driven by geostigma, which is a disease caused by the presence of Jenova and Sephiroth inside the Lifestream. The influence Sephiroth has over the Lifestream triggers the Whispers to show the party flashes of memories, specifically unpleasant memories, manipulating them into destroying destiny. But unknown to them, it's those memories that ultimately leads to the planet being saved in the end. They're manipulated up until the very end when they destroyed the Whisper Harbinger. Immediately following the destruction of the Whisper Harbinger, the party appears in what could absolutely be the Lifestream. Cloud asks Aerith where they are and she just shakes her head, but she knows. She 100% knows. More on that later. I believe it's at this moment when Sephiroth begins to trap the party into a false world. Meteor appears before them, followed by Sephiroth, which indicates it's entirely possible they're in the Lifestream at this moment. Not to mention the entire setting when fighting Sephiroth is straight up Advent Children. All these memories signify that it's all taking place in the Lifestream. By defeating the Whisper Harbinger, we basically gave Sephiroth complete or near complete control of the Lifestream. You can literally see him absorb Meteor in the remaining Whispers. It's as if he absorbed all the memories from the original game. This would in turn allow him to seal the party in the Lifestream in a world born of the memories of the original Final Fantasy VII. With the party sealed in a false world, his plan can now come to fruition. And keep in mind guys, during this entire set of events, Sephiroth's real body is still in the Northern Crater in the real world. He is able to telepathically control the clones throughout the original game because they all have Jenova cells. If he or Jenova corrupted the Lifestream, then in a sense he could potentially control the Whispers and all else telepathically. Let's switch gears for a second and talk about Aerith. If you've made it this far, you're probably wondering how Aerith could possibly be oblivious to being led down a false path. Well, the short answer is she isn't. She clearly knows the events of the original story based off certain scenes in the remake. She knows a lot more than she's letting on. This quote from Aerith grabbed my attention. Right before stepping into the singularity, Aerith says, "There's no greater threat to the planet than him. Sephiroth has to be stopped. He has to be. And that's why I'm asking you to help me. I know that together we can do this. But if we do, we'll be changing more than fate itself. If we succeed, if we win, we'll be changing ourselves." To me, this suggests she knows what the outcome will be. The party will be part of the Lifestream in a world of illusions, and she's fully aware. Right before she says this, Cloud steps forward and Aerith grabs his arm to stop him, followed by her shaking her head and backing off, saying this is the point of no return. She is hesitant to watch everyone go through with this, knowing what it could mean for their lives, but the threat of Sephiroth is far greater and he must be stopped by any means necessary. Aerith definitely has a plan we know nothing about yet, a plan to counteract what Sephiroth has been cooking up. She probably feels she can do more damage from within the Lifestream to counteract Sephiroth rather than on the surface. Her knowledge of the original events could be attributed to the fact that she's an ancient. There are a lot of significant quotes in On the Way to a Smile, but it'd take me forever to go through them all. Aerith studies Sephiroth though, and his capabilities to have influence from within the Lifestream. Maybe it's possible her Advent Children self has communicated with her past self in preparation for what Sephiroth plans to do. And keep in mind, the developers did say the remake project will tie into Advent Children. It's very possible we're dealing with Sephiroth and Aerith from Advent Children. The scheming done by Sephiroth could have taken place afterwards. There are a lot of similarities between his corruption of the Lifestream in Remake and the disease that is Geostigma. One could assume he learned from his mistakes and perfected his plan. And let's not forget his last words in Advent Children, "I will never be a memory." I'm sure Aerith was fully aware of his scheming, preparing for it in her own ways. Here are my final thoughts and predictions on Rebirth and beyond. Sephiroth basically absorbs the whispers and essentially all the memories of the Lifestream at the end. The moment Cloud clashes with Sephiroth, a huge beam of light appears and he basically explodes into a ton of whispers. It's almost as if this beam of light releases the memories and seals them into this false world. This is the same beam of light that Zack sees from the cliff outside Midgar. Shortly afterwards, the whispers disappear. Destiny has been unwritten, and so the story of Final Fantasy VII begins anew with Zack and Cloud heading to Midgar. This is the world remade by Sephiroth, not the world we see the party in. But like I said in the first video, I'm not sure he's aware Zack survived. Zack will lose track of Cloud, and Cloud will end up in the Northern Crater. Once I have Mother's power, I will exist fully in the living world. It will not be long now. Even if I'm incomplete, it will matter not. Cloud will be there. Cloud will complete me. The title of Rebirth is in reference to Sephiroth being reborn. This isn't a title in reference to a new destiny or a new world being reborn. Sephiroth will emerge in the true world and be reborn just as the title suggests. And let's not forget, Bizarro Sephiroth in Japanese literally translates to Rebirth Sephiroth. By the end of Rebirth, I think we'll be in a very similar situation to that of the World of Ruin in Final Fantasy VI. We'll have a feeling of hopelessness like Sephiroth 1. As for how this will unfold in Part 3 is unknown, but if I had to guess, I think Part 3 will be called Return. To undo what Sephiroth has done, Zack and Aerith will probably end up making some sort of sacrifice to return things to the way they should be. This will all in the end tie in with Advent Children. This preserves the original story because the false world the party is stuck in is based off the memories of the original game. The new twist is that Sephiroth deceived them all into allowing him to execute his plan in the true world without the party being there to stop him. There is no shortage of theories out there when it comes to Rebirth. A fair amount of people in the community are convinced Zack is still dead and his chapter in Rebirth takes place in the Lifestream. Which, let's be honest, it's a very strong possibility and most likely to be the case. To me though, that's the obvious choice. So based off that theory, I wanted to come up with a theory that is the polar opposite and may not be so far-fetched when you begin to analyze elements of Advent Children and the events leading up to Advent Children. My theories have never been right to the point where it's hilarious, so I don't expect this to be 100% correct. And I'd like to address the recent developer comment. A lot of fans are taking this statement as the community is basically overthinking the story changes. Some of the theories I've heard involve Cloud dying, Aerith living, pretty much everything you can possibly think of. My goal was simply to provide some insight on what could be possible while keeping the original story intact. I fully trust Square Enix will execute the writing of Rebirth and Part 3 phenomenally. Until this game is released or more story information is revealed, the fans are left to speculate all possible scenarios. This about wraps up my theory. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to creating more content for you all in the future. Thank you so much for watching.